the world of glossies is reeling over Conde Nast's decision to close 4 magazines: Gourmet, Cookie, Modern Bride, and Elegant Bride. It is a sign of the troubling times in magazines. And here to talk more with us about that is Roland DeSilva. He's a managing partner at media investment bank DeSilva and Phillips. Roland, and thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
And we've been talking actually about magazines over the last several weeks and how the troubles they're having with the advertising market. But Conde Nast owns some very big titles, powerhouse titles like Vogue, Vanity Fair. I mean, are those titles safe in an environment like this?
Yes, they are. They own an audience that is so dynamic and that Conde Nast have been serving for so many years. That audience is very loyal. They are looking to set up digital media platforms to serve that audience. When you look at Gourmet and what happened there, the audience was was shrinking. Mm-hmm. It was tight. Advertisers weren't coming into the marketplace. Newsstand sales were down. And they found that it's better for them to move that into Bon Appetit, and will give them a better platform to serve that market.
Right. It's not as if they don't have other food magazines. We were talking to Kathy Black, for instance, yes, last week, and the Food Network magazine launch that they've had was quite successful in their terms. So how can a magazine like that, which is pretty much geared towards the same audience, how can that thrive and then Gourmet see a shrinking audience? What's happening?
Well, you have to look at how the information is being delivered by Hearst versus Conde Nast. Food Network, you have video, you have cable, you have TV, and you have print, so you have an integrated platform going forward. Conde Nast did not have that. One of the challenges they have is to really put in a digital media and integrated platform into their company. Mm-hmm. And I think their consultant, McKinsey & Company, is finding that.
Roland, you mentioned before that the magazine industry has changed partly because of private equity investors and leverage purchases. But at the end of the day, you've got to sell magazines that people want to read, right?
That's correct.
So, I mean, how have they really changed the environment for magazines?
Private equity? Let's go back to the premise of a magazine. In fact, a premise of any audience. You have to own that audience to have a purpose with the magazine. The private equity people are very smart. They understand what a brand is and how to make that brand work. And they're very good managers in controlling costs and putting CEOs in those businesses to make them do very well. Unfortunately, in the last 3 years, there's just too much over leverage. I think they have done a very good job in a number of cases in helping magazine companies rationalize themselves and position themselves for a transition to digital media, albeit now they have a problem with servicing their balance sheet because there's so much leverage.
Right.
A lot of restructuring is taking place that will right-size the industry, and I suspect a year from now we'll be talking a very different story.
But would you say that some of these investors that have come in have also helped magazines let go of pet titles? Maybe you could call it that, I don't know, but titles that they want to hold on to because there's a sentimental value to them. But in the end, I mean, would you put Gourmet under that, for instance?
Gourmet is a fabulous magazine for a lot of years. New houses loved it. Conde Nast did very well with it. The audience just happened to disappear. It's a changing time. That's unfortunate. Pet magazines sooner or later have to disappear. Mm-hmm. And when they are rapidly disappearing.
They come to their time then.
Absolutely. It's like everything else.
Okay, and Conde Nast chose to close these titles versus selling them. Which is a better option?
Oh, I don't think there's much of a market for them to sell into right now. We have a very depressed advertising market. Newsstand sales are down. It's hard to find someone that would spend money to buy these magazines. They're going to lay off a lot of people. I know Conde Nast is going to take care of them very well. They're an excellent company, wonderful place to work. They're just going through a right-sizing now. Just no buyers there right now.
Okay, and a lot of speculation about Time Warner, for instance, selling their magazine unit. You heard Jeff Bewkes say, no way, I'm not doing that. Do you believe that? I mean, no, eventually at some point?
Jeff Bewkes is the CEO of a public company. He doesn't make statements like that and idle statements, because sooner or later it'll come back and bite him.
Right.
What they will probably do is sell off selected magazines. They may sell off some of the branch magazines, some of the branch operations like Southern Living. But as he said, there's just no way in the world he's going to sell them. He's got a challenge, a very big challenge with Time magazine. And that's because it's a weekly news magazine, and that's very challenged.
Okay. All right. Wish we had more time to talk about that. But Roland, thank you so much. We've just run out of time, and for talking about the magazine industry, certainly very interesting for us. Roland DeSilva of the media investment bank DeSilva and Phillips. Roland.